Once upon a time, there was me, and I was scared to be a YouTuber. I was scared to start a YouTube channel. So I understand what you are feeling. I understand that you want to start a YouTube channel, but you are so scared. You are scared of what your family and friends will think. You are scared of making mistakes when you're talking on camera. You're scared to be seen by other people. You may have imposter syndrome, feeling that you can't actually talk about the things that you want to talk about. This imposter syndrome is really rooted in your mind. And I empathize with you. I do. Because believe it or not, probably the majority of people who are YouTubers felt similarly to you. You are not alone in feeling scared of starting a YouTube channel. Part of being human is having fears. But let's talk about how we can tackle your fears. Your voice, your thoughts, your opinions, they are valuable. Don't feel like you have to be an expert to start a YouTube channel. You absolutely don't. You are just sharing your experience. For example, if your channel is about baking, you're just sharing your experience about baking your favorite recipes. If your channel is about learning how to sew, then you are just sharing with other people about how you discovered your love for sewing and tips on how to start sewing, etc. You don't have to be an expert. The thing is, we often see YouTubers who are so polished, right? Because they've been in this game for years. And then we think that straight out of the gate, we have to be brilliant at YouTube. It takes time. YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint. So, how can you expect yourself to be brilliant right from the start? You will learn as you go along. And yes, I get it. It can feel overwhelming to think that you have to know so much about YouTube. And that fear can be increased thinking, well, I have to know about editing, I have to know about thumbnails, I have to know about titles. And then you think, why bother to start? This is so scary as it is. I'm expected to step out of my comfort zone and then I'm expected to learn all of this. But nobody said that you to learn everything in one go. You can take your time. You can take your own sweet time to learn YouTube. You can take months, you can take years, you can take however long you need, right? I'm still learning as I go along. Big YouTubers are still learning because things change with YouTube. So don't feel that pressure that you have to know everything. The other thing you may be so afraid of is, oh my goodness, my family and friends are going to see my YouTube channel. This is so cringe to think they're going to be watching my channel and they'll be criticizing what I'm doing, or they'll be thinking I could have done a better job. Oh, why would I do this to myself? If you are not comfortable, if you are so scared of your family and friends seeing your YouTube channel, don't share your YouTube channel link with them. Don't share it until you are ready to do so. And if you're never ready to do so, it's still fine to not share it. You have a choice. You have a choice to share it or to not share it. So if it makes you so scared to think about what they're going to think of you, don't share it. Really, really don't share it. Because sometimes when you share your YouTube channel with family and friends, you feel more pressure. So wait until you are ready to do so. The thing is, right, we think that when we share a video with family or friends, or if they see our video, that they are going to pay so much attention to our video, when the reality is that, yeah, they'll probably watch a few minutes of your video, but unless they are really interested in the topics that you are chatting about, they may not watch your videos. They may just be busy with their own lives. Because sometimes it's about the spotlight effect. We do something new and we think all eyes are on us. But the reality is that people are so busy with their own lives. They have their own challenges to face. And once you start creating videos, right, you're moving past your fear, you know that the more videos you create, your fear will reduce, right? Then you think, oh, wow, I can't believe I was so scared. Because what you realize is that you you were overthinking. Your fear was getting heightened and your overthinking was getting heightened, and that was preventing you from stepping forward and creating your first video. I often think that creating your first video is sometimes the hardest part. And once you create that video, you realize that it wasn't as hard as you thought it was going to be. And once it's out there in the world, you think, okay, well, if I could do one video, then I can do a second and a third and a fourth. And that propels you to move forward. But I took years to start on YouTube because of the fear, because I built it up so much in my mind, because I made it bigger than it actually was. And then when I started, I was like, okay, no, I can do this. It's not easy. It's so frustrating at times, but it can be done. You know how you grow on YouTube? Well, I'm still figuring it out too, but it's about valuing progression over perfection, meaning you learn as you go along. You make a video this week. Next week, you think, okay, what could I have improved in that video? Instead of your fear thinking, oh, but you have to be perfect when you're a YouTuber. You have to sound a certain way. You have to look a certain way. You have to be a certain way. The truth is, YouTube is for everyone. On this platform, you have people of all ages. You have people who look like a variety of different ways, and it is for everyone. You will find your tribe. You will find your community. You will find people who resonate with what you are saying and how you are delivering your message. Please don't feel like you have to be anyone but yourself on YouTube. Improve your videos as you go along. Get comfortable with who you are. For a long time, when I was creating my YouTube videos, I was in presenter mode. I wasn't really comfortable talking on video, right? Because right now I'm filming with my phone. I'm here alone in my room and it feels weird. But you know what? You get to become comfortable even with the weirdness of it, and it becomes less weird. So right now your fears are telling you, oh, but how can I do this? How can I talk on camera? I haven't really spoken on camera before. You may think to yourself, I don't have the skills to be a natural person on camera. I'm awkward. Guess what? Don't you see that people get better over time if they keep practicing at something? Haven't you become better over time if you practice at something? The same applies to your YouTube channel. The more you practice, the more you realize how you can improve on things, the better you become. Give yourself grace. Give yourself kindness. You would give somebody else kindness, wouldn't you? Somebody else who was starting a YouTube channel, you'd say, be kind to yourself. You know, it's not easy, but you'll get there step by step. So be sure to tell yourself the same things. I know sometimes it's easier said than done. Sometimes it just sounds like fluffy, cliched stuff. But it does help when you have a mindset of, I've stepped out of my comfort zone. That wasn't easy. I'm proud of myself for doing so. And I'm going to take this step by step. I'm going to be really kind to myself. I'm going to have fun along the way, because fun is important. When you have fun, it also diminishes fear. And I'm going to enjoy this process and learn as much as I can from it. And I'm not going to live with the regret of thinking, oh, I could have started a YouTube channel, but I let fear get in the way. Therefore, I gave up on the channel even before I started it. Now, you may think, oh yeah, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm going to start my YouTube channel. And then you don't give yourself a timeline. You say you're going to start and you don't give yourself a timeline. Guess what? Months will pass, years will pass. You wouldn't have started your channel. Give yourself a deadline, a timeline, so that you know that you're accountable to yourself, right? If you give yourself a date, okay, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to publish my first YouTube video. Then you know you've set yourself a target, right? And when you meet the target, oh my word, you will be so proud of yourself for publishing that video. Now, please understand that when you have your own deadlines in place, your own schedule in place, it makes you feel like you're working towards a goal and it has a timeline. But when you don't have timelines, then time passes and you aren't working towards your goals, because you're self-sabotaging. By not putting a timeline, you're already mentally preparing yourself to not get it done. But when you have a timeline, you're mentally preparing yourself and emotionally preparing yourself to get that video published. How do I know this? Because for so long, I was thinking of starting but not having timelines. And I'm normally a person who loves timelines. But I was so scared to start. I just thought that my world would change so much when I started. And I was so afraid of negative things happening if I started, that I wasn't seeing the positive possibilities of when I start. And do you know what the positive things are when you start a YouTube channel? Oh my word, you grow in confidence because you realize that you did something that you thought that you couldn't do, but you did it. And you realize that you're getting better at talking on camera. You realize you're getting better at researching. You realize that with every video, you are improving. And these skills, you don't know what doors of possibilities will open for you. But the moment you stop and you don't actually move forward, you're closing all those possibilities. Why do that to yourself? I will say mindset is such a huge part of being a YouTuber. A positive mindset helps propel you in the direction that you want to go. But when you have fear, and I know it's normal, like I said, to have fear, it makes you feel stuck. It immobilizes you. The fear can grow to such a point that you just feel as if you're incapable of creating content, of being a YouTuber. Understand that if you become a YouTuber and then you realize this is not for you, you can quit your channel. Nobody is saying you have to start a YouTube channel and then you must stay in it and have it forever and don't quit or don't take time off or don't have breaks. You are in charge of your YouTube channel. It's yours. You have that authority over your YouTube channel to do as you please, take breaks, deviate, have a mental health break, etc. You can choose how to run your YouTube channel. Now, you may think, I don't know how to edit my videos, so I've filmed this video, now I need to edit. I don't know how to do that. I didn't know how to edit my videos either, but then I started using CapCut to edit, and I learned as I went along. And sometimes you can have these ideas about who you are as a person. I kept saying to myself, I'm not a technical person. I'm not a technical person. And the more often you say something to yourself, it becomes cemented. But when you start saying to yourself, I can learn this. Let me give it a try. Let me see what happens. When you change your mindset about the things that you seemingly thought you can't do, you will surprise yourself because you'll see that you can do it. And I'm not saying that everything will come easy and everything will slot in perfectly. Absolutely not. Let me be real with you. Sometimes YouTube will be so frustrating, you'll just think, why have I even bothered? But think about it. One day, right, when it's towards the end of your time on this earth, right, will you think, I wish I'd started that channel back then? Or will you think, I'm glad I gave this a go. I'm glad I took a chance on myself. Because I always say that we often regret the things that we don't do instead of the things that we do. Because when you do something, you can say, okay, well, this happened. I took a chance on this and this happened. Maybe it was positive, maybe it was negative, but now I understand the result. But when you don't take a chance on something that you really want to do, you'll never know how it could have gone. You'll never know the outcome because you didn't even try it in the first place. So watch this video about how to talk on camera. Everybody's learning as they go along, but I think you'll enjoy it. And comment below and let me know, when are you going to publish your first YouTube video? Put it down in the comments so you have accountability to yourself. Because remember, you owe it to yourself to try.